And we need to recognize that, and he deserves to be seen, and he deserves a mega fight. This is why we look at Dana White, and we love the UFC so much, because of what Dana White is meant to it. Because the number one gift that Dana White brings to the table, that he will make sure that if you want to see a fight, if the public at large wants to see a fight, he will prioritize making sure you get to see that fight. That's Dana White. The promoters have hijacked boxing, and as a result, they deny us the opportunity to see these great guys in mega fights, and it's a damn shame. That's why Jake Paul is so relevant.
I think it's Cap. I don't think he's actually retiring, but it's a smart move by him.
Terence Crawford was ducked at 135. He was ducked at 140. He was ducked at 147. Then after leaving 147, he beats Canelo. Now he's the man. He finally got to, I'm the number one draw in boxing status, and he never fought. If this retirement stays, he'll never fight again afterwards. Mm-hmm. It's tough because at 38 years old, that's when he reached that peak. If he fought for another 3 years, maybe we could have that conversation, and I think it'd be undisputed. I do think...
What forced one of boxing's greatest to walk away? The truth may surprise you, as Stephen A. Smith delivers a harsh reality check on boxing's broken structure and why it needs change. Since Terence Crawford retired, the boxing world has been buzzing. Fans, analysts, and fighters have been split on his decision to step aside. Some argue Crawford left too soon and still had more to prove in the ring. But boxing legend Andre Ward has completely shut down that criticism. According to Ward, anyone questioning what Crawford still needs to prove doesn't truly understand the sport. In his view, Terence Crawford has already achieved everything a fighter could hope for and owes nothing to anyone.
In the sport of boxing, if you see responses from fans, they don't even argue who's better anymore. They're arguing who's the A side and who's not. Who's a draw and who. Y'all don't know a left hook from a fish hook. And you talking about who's the draw and who's the A side? That's the point that I'm making. It's not about proving. When you say young fighters don't want to prove, and there's still a few out there. And I think the Terence Crawfords of the world, I think he's one of the last of a dying breed. When you say prove, question is prove to who? Because if I can prove to my 500, 1 million, 2 million, 4 million followers, as long as they believe that I'm a good...
Many boxing fans believe Terence Crawford retired too early and still want to see him face their preferred opponents. But Andre Ward sees it differently. He believes fans don't decide when a fighter becomes a legend, respect from true peers inside boxing does. According to Ward, if Crawford's coaches, trainers, and family are at peace with his decision, there's no reason to worry about outside noise. What fans think doesn't outweigh the voices of those who know the fighter best.
I've done enough and everybody's ducking me. That's enough. That's the validation that helps cats sleep good at night.
Yeah.
The validation that yourself, myself, and other people was after was, number one, me. I gotta feel comfortable living with me. I gotta walk around and live with myself and be like, bruh, are you really him? Then it's my people, my coach, my goddaddy, my circle. I gotta look my kids in the face and I want them to know that my daddy the best fighter in the world. The real answer is, what do your peers say about you? How do they feel about you? Because most of the time, unless there's some personal stuff going on, a fighter gonna keep it 100. Yep. Fans can say what they want to say. You didn't fight nobody. A fighter will come in and say, you tripping. He fought this guy, that guy, this.
In his view, this was the perfect goodbye. The way Terence Crawford stepped away after facing Canelo left nothing left to prove. He also addressed earlier comments from Max Kellerman, who suggested Crawford should fight David Benavidez or Jaron Boots Ennis, a take Ward believes makes no sense. Responding to critics, Ward made it clear that what Crawford has already done for boxing is more than enough. There is no one left he needs to fight and nothing left he needs to prove.
I wouldn't be mad if I never see Terence fight again. The way he performed, getting ready to be 38, I think, in a few days. Man, what better way to go out? What better way to tell the game goodbye? What better way? Who you gonna fight? I was arguing with Max on the way to the venue about Boots Ennis. Nah, we don't go fight Canelo and then go back and fight Boots Ennis. I saw a report today, somebody was talking about him going up to light heavyweight. Nah, we don't go up to light heavyweight. We just went up 3 weight classes since the Spence fight, and 2 weight classes since the Madrimov fight, my last fight. This is the perfect send-off.
This is something Stephen A. Smith also recognizes. He respects Terence Crawford's decision to retire, but believes Crawford's name is still being dragged into debates about who he should fight next, similar to how Floyd Mayweather was during his era. Even though Crawford facing Canelo as a final fight would be a fitting peak to his legacy, the questions haven't stopped. The speculation continues, and the noise around his future keeps growing.
Undefeated, spectacular in a lot of different ways. Listen, the bottom line is he's special. Pound for pound, he's the best in the world at this particular moment in time. There is no doubt about it, and he's going out on top. He deserves it. And now it's going to warrant questions. What would he have done as a welterweight? Let's say, for example, if he was going against somebody like a Floyd Money Mayweather, if he was going up against a Sugar Ray Leonard or a Tommy the Hitman Hearns and people like that. He's in that conversation where you're asking those questions. Some people would pick him to win, others would say no because his boxing brilliance is undeniable. And for him to go out and to step up to super middleweight and to beat Saul Canelo Alvarez says a lot about him. The only thing that I would say is that I really, really wish there were two fighters that I wish that he had fought. I wish that he...
But while appreciating Terence Crawford, Stephen A. Smith admits he would still like to see him face two special fighters. Revealing his personal favorites, Stephen A. makes it clear he doesn't question the legitimacy of Crawford's retirement. Instead, he highlights the ongoing debate the boxing community has had and will continue to have. In his view, there are certain fighters at a level that truly deserved a shot against Crawford, and those are the matchups he wishes fans could have seen.
That he had fought. I wish that he had fought the Charlo at the junior middleweight division because obviously they don't like him. They love Errol Spence, and he destroyed Errol Spence. I would have liked to see him fight those guys, one of them anyway. And I definitely think that a guy by the name of Jerron Boots Ennis at the welterweight division, you're going to hear a lot about him in the future. Doggy, Shay Peter, the reason why people don't hear more about him is because people won't fight him. At some point in time, when you are spectacular, as Jerron Boots Ennis is, you deserve a...
Stephen A. Smith believes boxing promoters have hijacked the sport, preventing the matchups fans truly want to see. In his view, Terence Crawford's retirement, especially coming at a time when he was also stripped of a title, raises serious questions about boxing's legitimacy. He suggests that someone like Dana White, who can make the fights fans demand, could be part of the solution. While Smith fully respects Crawford's right to retire, he questions why it happened while fighters like David Benavidez and Jerron Boots Ennis, who deserve the opportunity to face him, are left moving through weight classes without a chance. He calls it a shame and a clear reflection of boxing's broken structure.
Boxing, and as a result, they deny us the opportunity to see these great guys in mega fights, and it's a damn shame. That's why Jake Paul is so relevant, because he's found a way to bypass promoters and make money in the boxing rings instead of being a prisoner to the promoters. Even though he didn't fight anybody, he's about to fight Anthony Joshua, and we'll see what happens with that. Anthony Joshua should knock him into tomorrow because he's the bigger fighter with incredible power, but he's got a glass jaw. So if Jake Paul catches him, who knows? But we want to see the fights that we want to see when we want to see them. And boxing doesn't give us that. And two people who have suffered the most is Jerron Boots Ennis and David.
Giving his perspective on Crawford stepping away from boxing, Stephen A. Smith believes the real criticism should be directed at promoters who have frustrated the public by failing to make the fights fans demand. In his view, Crawford is above those promoters, and at least he never cheated the sport. Stephen applauds Crawford for delivering a memorable career and walking away on a high note after a spectacular final performance.
He's taken on all comers, and he's taken all of them out. He is spectacular. He's the best pound for pound. He's been a tribute and a testament to the sport of boxing, and he should be not just applauded, not just celebrated, but revered, because he's that special. My props to him if indeed this is it, and we'll never see him fighting again. Thank you for all you've done for boxing, Terence Crawford, because he never...
Then comes the reaction from the notorious Jake Paul, who believes Terence Crawford's retirement is a smart move. He calls the situation cap and goes even further, claiming he is 100% ready to fight Crawford, suggesting it's already a done deal for next year and that fans will see it happen. Until then, he insists Crawford isn't really retired at all.
Cap, I don't think he's actually retiring, but it's a smart move by him.
Are you going to pull him out of retirement and you're going to face Terence Bud Crawford?
I'll fight Crawford 100% next year. He already was down this year, but we're going to make it happen next.
But beyond all the debates, Terence Crawford's legacy is praised by Amir Khan, who reflects fondly on the memories he shared with him. He reveals that for his fight, Crawford arrived fully prepared and consistently respectful to everyone outside the ring. In his view, a fighter like Crawford stands out for his uniqueness and character, unlike anyone else, even fighters like Floyd Mayweather. He believes Crawford will be remembered as a true legend forever.
Colorado Springs, yeah. And he came just to train with me and to help me and support me. You know what I mean? That's what you call a champion. That respects other people as well, other champions. And that's one thing about Terence Crawford. He's always respected all the champions, all his peers, all his partners, all his gym mates. And he's going to be missed. Great legend of a guy. Not only what he did, what he's like in the ring. People know how good he is in the ring, but what he's like outside the ring is more humbling. There's a big difference between him and Mayweather. There's a big difference between him and the other fighters I've been around. Terence is a lovely guy who is very respectful and is a...
Meanwhile, Crawford's retirement has left a void in the boxing world and sparked debates about his greatness. Kieran Hickey has questioned Crawford's status as one of the greatest, especially compared to Floyd Mayweather. He believes Mayweather's legacy is greater because, once he became a major draw, he didn't step away from the sport prematurely. In his view, part of the reason Floyd is considered greater than Crawford is that Crawford never had all the big opportunities Mayweather enjoyed during his career.
Can't say with certainty that Floyd Mayweather is greater than Terence Crawford. I can't. Terence Crawford never got the opportunity to prove his greatness as much as Floyd Mayweather did because he was never the draw that Mayweather was. Everyone wanted that Mayweather fight, whether they thought they were going to win or they were going to lose, regardless, just because they knew the payday was going to change their life. Floyd Mayweather got an opportunity to defend his belt, or to fight as many world champions as any boxer in history, which is why a lot of people see him as the greatest.
Retiring with a remarkable 42-0 record, Terence Crawford remains a legend of his era. Kieran Hickey acknowledges that Crawford may have missed certain opportunities to reach even greater heights, reflecting on instances where he believes some opponents ducked him. He still considers Floyd Mayweather the top in terms of overall greatness. At the same time, Hickey notes that Crawford's dominance could rival or even surpass Mayweather's, given that Crawford has never lost a single fight on the scorecards throughout his career. To him, that undefeated record is an achievement even more impressive than Floyd's.
He was ducked at 140. He was ducked at 147. Then after leaving 147, he beats Canelo. Now he's the man. He finally got to I'm the #1 draw in boxing status, and he never fought. If this retirement stays, he'll never fight again afterwards. It's tough because at 38 years old, that's when he reached that peak. If he fought for another 3 years, maybe we could have that conversation, and I think it'd be undisputed. I do think, though, Terence Crawford's dominance, it's right up there. It's just as impressive as Floyd Mayweather. And as a matter of fact, it might even be more impressive. Terence Crawford in those 42...
Throughout his professional career, Terence Crawford has never had a draw. Every fight ended with him on top, securing the decision, a feat that many argue makes his record even more impressive. While still acknowledging Floyd Mayweather's greatness, Kieran Hickey believes that if a match between the two ever happened, Crawford would give Mayweather the toughest battles of his career, given that Crawford has consistently dominated every opponent he has faced.
I won by a unanimous decision, or I stopped you. Or I stopped you. It's... Bringing up Floyd is tough. I think if there was a match between the two, this is the guy that would give him the toughest battle. A dude that could... I'm taking Bud.
Yeah, you have to.
I'm taking Bud.
You have to?
I'm taking Bud. Look, let me tell you why. Terence Crawford, even though Floyd, the most amazing defensive fighter we've ever seen, Bud, whenever it mattered most, went out there and nearly stopped some of the best fighters, or did stop some of the...
Amid all this, Max Kellerman notes that it was wise for Terence Crawford to step away while at such an impressive peak. He points out that many fighters retire, but few do it the way Crawford did. The only person he compares to Crawford in this regard is Andre Ward. Kellerman emphasizes that when you've reached the pinnacle of your career, it's best to leave room for the next generation, and that's exactly what Crawford did. His record stands as proof of his unique farewell, leaving behind a lasting legacy.
Quite like Terence Crawford, because Lennox Lewis, Andre Ward walked away on top after beating Kovalev. Maybe Andre came closest to doing what Crawford just did, if he doesn't come back. and if Crawford stays retired. But Lennox really struggled with Vitaly Klitschko. And he looked at Vladimir Klitschko and thought, I think I can do it. I believe I can do it if I make myself get into that level of shape. I don't want to do that anymore. You know, like an American football player who says, I just don't want to run through that brick wall anymore. But the question really is, can you still do that if you think you don't want to anymore? So a wise man says, I don't want to find out.
Max Kellerman also applauds Crawford for another remarkable quality, doing things entirely on his own terms. Kellerman notes that throughout his career, Crawford never relied on marketable stunts to prove his worth. Reflecting on a time when boxing was often about marketing, rankings, and collecting titles, Kellerman recalls a Crawford who focused solely on beating and stopping his opponents to claim victory. Instead of playing the boxing game, Crawford stayed true to the sport itself, earning respect and leaving a lasting mark on the boxing world.
Be arrogant, or to clown, or to be kind of a big, colorful personality. And there was a sense in boxing back then that, well, Bronner is going to be a star, and no matter how good Crawford is, people may never know it because he's so dangerous. Who would want to fight him? And if he doesn't start making a ruckus outside of the ring, then he won't generate enough interest to generate the kind of attention and therefore money it would take to get opponents in the ring with him. And Crawford, I talked to him about that then when he was a lightweight, 12, 13 years ago, whatever that was. And his answer was, I'm me. I'm just going to do what I do.
With comparisons between Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford being made, Max Kellerman shares his take on who might have done it better. Analyzing each fighter's style, he believes Crawford, with his high ring IQ, could have found a way to land a decisive punch on Mayweather. Kellerman argues that Crawford is an even better finisher than Floyd. He acknowledges that this debate will continue forever but emphasizes that Crawford's decision to retire undefeated at 42-0 commands respect and suggests he should remain retired, unlike Floyd, who returned for exhibitions.
And Crawford obviously was more of an offensive fighter and Floyd more of a defensive fighter, but Floyd had a tremendous offense and Crawford had a very good defense. I think when people look at that, they'll say, well, Floyd was faster. Floyd had a better defense. Floyd made fewer mistakes. But Crawford's boxing IQ was just as high as Floyd's, and he was a better puncher and finisher than Floyd. So, that's the kind of fight I think when people analyze, Floyd might be outboxing him but Crawford's going to figure some stuff out. And eventually he's going to hit Mayweather with something and hurt him. And when he does, he's going to...
Despite all the debates and criticisms, one thing remains certain. Terence Crawford may have hung up his gloves, but his place in boxing history will never retire. This has been Crawford's own message as well. With nothing left to prove, his impressive record shines brightly among the stars on boxing's wall. His reputation as a legendary fighter with unmatched achievements stands as a testament to the hard work and dedication he brought throughout his career. Terence Crawford will be remembered for his exceptional boxing IQ, outstanding footwork, and a unique undefeated record that no one else has ever achieved.
Undefeated, on top, and on his own terms. The greatest switch hitter of all time. First undisputed male champion in the four-belt era. First two-weight undisputed male champion in the four-belt era. First, and currently only, three-weight undisputed male champion in the four-belt era. And he is the only man in the history of boxing to have won a Ring magazine belt in 4 separate weight divisions. For those that don't know, to compete for a Ring magazine belt, you must be ranked number 1 or number 2 in your respective weight division. They do not give these out like sweets.
Crawford is the only boxer in history to hold the Ring magazine title in 4 divisions, joining Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather Jr. as one of the few fighters to become 4-division lineal champions. He is hailed as one of the greatest of all time.
The alphabet sanctioning bodies. He has done that in 4 separate divisions, from 135 pounds up to 168. Numbers do not lie. We witnessed an all-time great.
In the words of Teddy Atlas, it's been a privilege to witness Terence Crawford's spectacular career and a true blessing to see him leave the sport on top, where he deserves to be as a champion. Atlas has always described Crawford as a fighter with rare, almost one-of-a-kind abilities, and his final fight against Canelo was a true showcase of his boxing brilliance. there will only ever be one Crawford.
You have that or you don't have that ingredient. I think he has it.
As Teddy Atlas would always say, Canelo is looking to be friends, and Crawford is not looking to be friends.
I think Crawford is...
Beyond the debates about who's the best and what unfolded during Crawford's incredible career, one thing is certain: Crawford and his unique approach will be remembered forever. His refusal to be bowed by promoters, and even his final battle with the WBC, may be disappointing to some fans, but it was the decision of a champion who remains on top, a true GOAT of all time, with Stephen A. Smith highlighting the issues boxing faces. It speaks volumes about the changes that need to happen now. That's all for today. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, cherish the memories of the Crawford era. Share your thoughts in the comments below, we want to hear from you. If you enjoyed the video, share it with a Crawford fan and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the latest stories from the boxing world. See you next time.